but it causes repeated trauma to the brain. And over years and years of this happening, people can get what's called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE syndrome. And it's almost like a disease because with repeated trauma to the brain, and that can lead to memory problems, mood swings, even trouble with movements, and eventually people can develop dementia, like Alzheimer's disease. Jake Paul got knocked out by Anthony Joshua this past Friday night. And so I want to break this down from a medical perspective. I'm a neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience. And so, what happens is when you get hit in the head with that kind of force, like in boxing, our brain actually moves inside our skull and it can bump into the skull, which is a firm structure, and cause bruising of the brain.
In the morning, I can't sleep. My jaw's busted. They wired it up a couple hours ago and it hurts every time I move my mouth. I lost tonight. I gave everything and I still lost. Feels like I let everyone down. I'm not unbreakable.
Jake
Paul gets his jaw broken. Not only that, but he gets his lower jaw broken from the right and the left side, so both sides. And not only this, following that, he went through an emergency surgery procedure to get that sorted out, and titanium plates were inserted to help stabilize the case. This will take long to fully heal.
Here's the truth nobody wants to face. When you get hit like that, not clipped, not stunned, but truly shattered, the brain remembers, even when the ego pretends it doesn't. All the medical talk about CTE and long-term damage isn't filler or fear-mongering, it's a warning label written in blood. Trauma doesn't fade, it stacks. And that night, Jake didn't just take a punch, he absorbed a layer of damage that time doesn't peel off. This was only the beginning, and if you think this is just about one fight, stay with me.
He was going like tie him down and catch him with a good shot and shit like that.
So wait, do you think, curious, because it's a business aspect, but again, I'm still a nigga, and I'm still a fan, so I'm being real. So
6 to 8 months, maybe a year. Plates, dental reconstruction, weight fluctuations, reflex hesitation, those are just the items doctors can measure. The real shift happened the moment he admitted heavyweight was a mistake. That single sentence landed harder than anything thrown in the ring because it wasn't analysis, it was doubt learning how to speak. And once doubt finds a voice, it doesn't go quiet again. If you're still watching, you already know this story isn't heading where people think it is.
A couple of times, pushed down on the back of his neck, pushed down on the back of his head, got him to the ground. There was a few times where Jake looked like he was going for a takedown. Again, that was Jake trying to engage in the clinch, and AJ smartly moved back. In one instance, I think it was the 5th round, Jake engaged for a clinch, AJ moved back and started punching.
Anthony Joshua showing respect somehow made everything worse, because respect from the executioner doesn't comfort the fallen, it confirms the execution. When AJ said that shot would have dropped real heavyweights, that wasn't praise, that was context. And context is merciless when it exposes how thin the margin always was. That moment reframed the entire night, and if you felt uncomfortable hearing it, that's because the illusion had already started to crack.
To Anthony Joshua sleeping Jake and breaking his jaw in 2 different places, along with breaking his teeth. Javante joined the fun with the rest of the boxing community by throwing a meme on Jake Paul. That was his reaction, as you guys see above.
And don't think this ends with recovery updates and motivational captions. Behind the scenes, promoters are recalculating, opponents are circling, commissions are watching closely. There's quiet movement happening right now, the kind that doesn't make headlines until it's too late to stop it. I'm hearing whispers that not everyone involved even wants the rematch narrative to exist. If that surprises you, hit subscribe here, because what's coming next isn't going to be packaged politely.
Jake Paul was knocked out in round 6 and suffered 2 fractures to his left jaw. Here's the moment that did it.
Chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And
And look at Jake Paul's face.
There's no way I can share the actual injury here. It's a bit too gruesome as the camera was put inside Jake's mouth and his teeth were actually not in a straight line. They were separated from the others as the jaw deviated. The question is though, what kind of recovery process Jake would be.
You're probably framing this as the comeback arc, the revenge story, the phoenix rising from the ashes. But ask yourself honestly, after that before and after image burned itself into your memory, do you really believe confidence will land the same way next time? Or will hesitation creep in just before the exchange? Because that half-second pause is where careers quietly go to die, and no highlight reel ever shows that part.
Down on Jake's back. So all of those things kind of deteriorated or emptied Jake's gas tank a lot earlier than I think he expected it to. But overall, I thought he deployed his game plan well for the first 5 rounds and actually had some success. He even moved AJ back a few times, 1 by just jabbing in the air, and 2, when he caught him, he moved.
Something else is coming out. You can feel it because the reactions don't line up. Too many people are choosing their words carefully. Someone is protecting something. Maybe a negotiation, maybe a condition, maybe a decision made weeks ago that explains why everything unraveled so fast. And when that information drops, this entire story flips on its head. Trust me, don't click away because this is the point where the real damage starts to surface.
Yeah, he just represents everything that's wrong with boxing, unprofessionalism, and you know he's getting what you know, he's reaping what he sows. But I hate working with people like that. He stands everyone up, film crews, everything. Doesn't do any promotion.
So no, this isn't over. Not even close. Jake Paul didn't just lose a fight. He cracked open a debate the sport has been trying to avoid for years. While he heals in private and others celebrate in public, the clock is ticking toward the next reveal, the next leak, the next shock. And when it hits, you're gonna wish you hadn't looked away for even a second. If you want the full breakdown when that happens, you know what to do.
Jake Paul was knocked out in round 6 and suffered 2 fractures to his left jaw. Here's the moment that did it.
Chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face.
There's no way I can share the actual injury here. It's a bit too gruesome as the camera was put inside Jake's mouth and his teeth were actually not in a straight line. They were separated from the others as the jaw deviated. The question is though, what kind of recovery process Jake would be.
He didn't just get knocked out, he got erased, jaw snapped, future rerouted. And the most unsettling part is that this might be the exact moment Jake Paul's boxing identity quietly died on a Friday night. So don't blink. I'm taking this all the way back to the second before disaster struck, when everyone still believed confidence could cheat physics, power, and consequence. It couldn't, not even close. And yeah, it feels unreal, but it's not.
AJ came right back in and swung, but he did move him back.
When this fight was first announced, you said to several media members that initially you weren't down for this fight. You thought it was just a little bit too much too soon, to paraphrase. Did he do better? Did Jake do better than you thought? Result aside, obviously you wanted him to win. You thought, I think by the end that he was going to win, but did he actually do better than you thought initially?
This wasn't a fight ending. It was a revelation. When Jake hit the canvas and stayed there, that wasn't exhaustion or bad luck. That was the sport screaming the truth back at him. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud yet, but soon everyone will. Something went wrong long before the final punch. Something structural. Something hidden. And I promise you, someone in this story is...
And doesn't do any posts, but it is what it is. I'm actually glad this all happened this way so that he doesn't get, you know, the biggest paycheck of his life and just continues to be a piece of shit.
You felt it when the tone changed, that split second when the arena went quiet and even the commentators hesitated. That's the sound of an illusion collapsing in real time. This wasn't Anthony Joshua peaking. This was Jake stepping into a level of violence he was never truly prepared for. And if you think this ends with a broken jaw, you're already behind. Everyone talks about toughness like it's armor, but toughness didn't save him. It only kept him upright long enough to absorb damage that rewrites careers. What cracked wasn't just bone, it was the boundary between influencer boxing and real heavyweight consequence. And right now, doctors are whispering things they're not ready to say on camera. When they do, everything changes.